No, 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 no. I, yes, I did say I would use that song for an intro, but I was just kidding. I can't play that song on YouTube. Why? First of all, copyright infringement, and the lyrics of that song will probably get me kicked off YouTube. Sorry. Sorry, folks. Production team. Okay, let's work on another song. Until then, let's let her rip. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to this week's episode of Wrestling Gold Friday Night. Yes, it's been one of those weeks, but hey, I am glad to be in my little humble home studio here instead of the hotel. Didn't work out as well as planned to, but I had, let's just say, this is probably a Y setup, so I was definitely on. Okay, I give it a little more credit than that. Maybe a D setup, and I was down to a Z setup at the hotel room. So, but anyway, if anybody watched any of my content this past week from the hotel room, definitely appreciate you folks for doing that. For the ones that did, uh, for the ones that didn't, go check it out and have a good laugh. But anyway, yes, it is Friday night. It is Wrestling Gold Friday night where we're talking about the good old days of professional wrestling, back when wrestling was wrestling. Like I said last night, um, probably will not get a whole lot of people in the chat this week, but hopefully, oh, see, here I go again. I forget to. Uh, I forgot to. Excuse me here. All right, hopefully. Crap. See, everything was going smoothly till for some reason at 10 o'clock people want to message me. Anyway, back to the game at hand. So yes, this is Friday night. Glad to be home for at least a weekend. Next week I'll be back out at Lake Park, Georgia. So hopefully next week I have a little bit better setup, all the kinks worked out, uh, so I can give y'all the best content that I can. Uh, which ain't saying a lot. But anyway, like I said, if you are out there, you want to join me in the chat, it is live, it is up and running. Uh, Even just to say hello, just say hello, saying you're here. Also, if you do catch this on replay, again, leave a comment, even if it's just a hello, or you know, mention something that you remember from anything we talk about. I talk about tonight. Oops. Let's see. Also, leave a like and be a champ and hit that subscribe button. Those things are greatly appreciated. Hopefully, everybody had a good week and ready to get into it. Yeah, like I said last night, it's probably gonna be kind of dead, but still gonna do this because I enjoy doing this. So if anybody does pop up, hey, they're welcome to pop up. But I'm pretty sure everybody's probably either in bed with their girl, with their man, uh, at the bars or the clubs, uh, or just out or having a backyard, you know, get together with friends at home. Um, SmackDown's not an excuse this week because I think SmackDown is off now, so you can't use watching SmackDown as an excuse this week. Anyway, let's get right down to it. We're gonna go to today in wrestling history. Today is July 12th, 2024. But uh, don't get to do this often here. We got a couple birthdays today. So on this day in 1974, Shane Helms was born. Of course, Shane Helms, Sugar Shane Helms from the Three Count. This, I think, yeah, I think he went by Shane Helms when he was a member of the Backstreet Boy or Bad Street Boys and NWA Worldwide or Music City Wrestling, wherever they call themselves then. Christian York, Joey Matthews, uh, Shannon. Uh, anyway, him. Um, I think he's probably did a little less than everyone. Great, talented group of guys, high flyers at the time. But of course, when WCW got bought out, they brought in Shane Helms or Gregory Helms, and they noticed he had a Green Lantern tattoo on him, and they talked to him and said, "Hey," and he mentioned that he was a big comic book fan, so therefore they gave him a comic book character. Later on, he turned heel and had a run as the WCW or WWF light heavyweight champion. Um, yeah, I think they called it. There's a lightweight, not cruiserweight. He was also a WCW cruiserweight champion. So I think was he the last one? I want to say he was the last WCW cruiserweight champion. Memory kind of foggy there. Anyway, also celebrating a birthday tonight or today is the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. He was born on this day in 1977. Holy crap, I'm older than Brock Lesnar. God, that makes me feel bad. So yeah, collegiate wrestler. Uh, got signed with the WWE. Went to Ohio Valley. Teamed with Shelton Benjamin as the Minnesota Stretching Crew because they're both collegiate wrestlers. Got billed as the next big thing. Got managed by Paul Heyman. When he first came into the WWE, defeated Rock for the undisputed heavyweight championship. Had one more WrestleMania match, or at the time, one more WrestleMania match with Bill Goldberg. They both quit that same night. He tried out for the Minnesota Vikings, and that didn't quite work out because he wrestled in college. I think last time he played any kind of football was in high school, so didn't quite work out. But he went to UFC, dominated there, became UFC champion. Of course, that brought his stock up way high, and that's how he landed back home to the WWE. Ended the Undertaker streak, yada yada yada. Everybody knows the story by now. So yeah, so it's today is Brock Lesnar's birthday. On this day in 1986, it marked the final wrestling match of Bruno Sammartino at Madison Square Garden. Yes, Bruno Sammartino teamed with Tito Santana, and they defeated Intercontinental Champion Randy Savage and Adrian Adonis in a steel cage match. Um, yes, this is the last time Bruno Sammartino, I think, did anything to WWF or WWF, WWE. Definitely Madison Square Garden because he had quit. Excuse me. He had left and did other things and had a kind of a beef with Vince McMahon Jr. He didn't like the way the wrestling business was going at the time. So this was his final appearance until 2023 when he was inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure. I think Triple H brokered that deal. So, uh, so anyway, other matches on that night. Jimmy Hart of all people won a 22-man battle royal Pedro Morales defeated Iron Mike Sharp, King Kong Bundy, and Big John Studd defeated King Tunga and Haku, or King Tunga, who is Haku, and CV Afi. Billy Jack Haynes defeated Brutus Beefcake, this before he became the Barber, by DQ. WWF World Tag Team Champions, the British Bulldog, David Boy Smith, Dynamite Kid, defeated the Boondocks, Spot and Rex. Holly Race defeated Tony Gurria. Greg Valentine battled Junkyard Dog to a double countout. And Tony Atlas defeated Lanny Poffo. Also on this date in 1986, the Great American Bash had a card at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, drawing about 10,000 people. Ronnie Garvin defeated Tully Blanchard. Thunderfoot Joel Deaton. Joel Deaton was under a mask as the Thunderfoot. Defeated Ricky Santana. Jimmy Garvin beat the Italian Stallion. Ole Anderson defeated Hector Guerrero. Man MTA defeated Arn Anderson. Rock and Roll Express defeated the Midnight Express with Jim Cornette locked in the cage during the match. Baby Doll defeated Jim Cornette. Dusty Rhodes beat NWA World Champion Ric Flair by a DQ. And the Road Warriors, teaming with Wahoo McDaniel, defeated Crusher Khrushchev, Ivan, and Nikita Koloff. In case you can't tell, that young guy, I ain't got no pointer on me. You can't see me pointing at it with a mouse. But anyway, yes, Crusher Khrushchev right there, kneeling down there. That he grew up to be Demolition Smash. So, yes, he shaved his head and was Russian for a while, called himself Crusher Khrushchev, and then left Jim Crockett Promotions for WWF. I think that was I can't remember now. I know that Randy Colley was working out because everybody remember him from being a Moondog. So they asked Bill Eddie. Of course, Bill Eddie was the masked superstar. They didn't know what he looked like because he wore a mask. Even when he came in as, I think, one of the machines, still under a mask. And then when he decided to be X, Holly was Smash, but everybody remember him from being a Moondog, so they needed another Smash. So they called up Barry. I think it was Edie called it. Kind of choose Barry Darso, Crusher Khrushchev, because nobody knew him up there really, especially if he grew his hair out long and or grew his hair out a little bit and put some face paint on. Kind of hard to recognize. Not that much, but especially if you're knew who Crusher Khrushchev wasn't that hard to recognize. All right. Next up on this date in 1992, WCW presented the Great American Bash from the Gray Civic Center in Albany, Georgia. 8,000 people were in attendance, with 70,000 homes purchasing the event on pay-per-view. This would be the last Great American Bash until 1995, so it took like a 2-year vacation. One of the highlights of the show, they had a tournament. Of course, this was WCW, and I will admit, when Bill Watts came in and announced there's going to be an NWA World Tag Team Tournament, I was like, okay, cool. They're going to change WCW back to NWA. For some reason, I just kind of dig that better than WCW. I was still a kid. I didn't have the Aftermax or anything like that, so I didn't know any kind of inner workings. I just know Bill Watts was there. The product was decent. I was excited about it, except for the top rope rule. Top rope rule kind of, I felt jilted by that one. But anyway, yes, they had a tournament for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. This was, of course, even though it was a tournament for those titles, the WCW World Tag Team titles still was on that same lineage. And both the WCW tag teams, I'll get to that later, on why they were defending together until 1993, when WCW withdrew from the NWA again. but they had a first round tournament and one quarterfinal match that was held at the Clash of Champions back in June 6th, which uh, included uh, Terry Gordy and Steve Williams defeating the Steiner brothers. So that's why they were out of this tournament and off this pay per view. So anyway, you had matches like Nikita Koloff and Ricky Steamboat defeated Jushin Liger and Brian Pillman. Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham defeated Steve Austin and Rick Rude. Hiroshi Hase, great talent. You like Japanese wrestling, that stiff style, suplexes, go back check this guy out. And Shana Hashimoto, who was subbing for Akira Nogami, defeated the Fabulous Freebirds, Jimmy Garvin, and Michael Hayes. Also, previously, Daikon Gordy, I think we discussed our shows like a week earlier because this was, I think, yeah, we talked about this on last week's Wrestling Gold Friday night. Terry Gordy and Steve Williams defeated Steiner Brothers at the Omni to become the WCW World Tag Team Champions. So they were the tag team champions going into this. Excuse me. And so they wound up defeating Nikita Koloff and Ricky Steamboat. Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham defeated Hiroshi Hase and Hashimoto. In the finals of that tournament, of course, it was Daikon Gordy. Terry Bam Bam Gordy, Steve Dr. Death Williams defeated Dustin Rhodes and Barry Windham to win the NWA World Tag Team titles. And so, therefore, they were basically unified tag team champions. So, and that's why they were defending together. They call them, it's called the NWA WCW Unified Tag Team Championship. Again, until WCW officially withdrawn again from the NWA. Also on that card, match between Sting and Big Van Vader. This, of course, had Vader pinning Sting and becoming the new WCW World Championship. Again, you can kind of tell, excuse me. Definitely heavily Watts influence because Watts like big guys. And at the time, Leon White, Big Van Vader, former football player, raw bone, tough guy, somewhat. Uh, yeah, he can probably beat up most of the people, just not Paul Orndorff. But tough guy, football player, fits the bill to what Bill Watts liked. Again, that's probably one of the reasons he, decides he wanted an African American babyface, top babyface, and really didn't have too many choices in one except for Ron Simmons at the time. But Ron Simmons fit the bill, big, legit, tough guy, football player. That's why he got a good run, or got a run as the WCW World Champion as well. Last but not least, on this date in 1995, President Jack Tunney is ousted as the WWF president. Of course, Jack Tunney, he was a promoter for Maple Leaf Wrestling. I believe that's what it's called. Then they had worked with the NWA and Jim Crockett for many years, but kind of had a falling out because of payoffs and well, the houses weren't drawn too well. I think Sandy Scott was a booker at the time, and he left, went to, excuse me, WWF because that was a financial fallout with him and Crockett. So he went to the WWF. Then their houses dropped. I think Johnny Weaver, if I read it correctly, Johnny Weaver was the one booking at the time, but the only big top star they would bring up there was Don Kernodle. Nothing against the guy, just not going to sell out. The Maple Leaf, or where, I think it was the Maple Leaf Gardens, I guess, where they wrestled at. Yes, then I believe in '84 he became the on-screen, kind of like the GM now, but he was the on-screen president. He wasn't on like every show or anything like that. Just when they had to make it, little announcements like when the Undertaker defeated Hogan, but there was some shenanigans there. Ric Flair slid a chair in and everything, so they had the um, boom, the important emergency pay-per-view Tuesday in Texas. Let's see. He also made the call about stripping both Hogan and Andre of the championship and having a tournament be held for the WWF World Title at WrestleMania 4, which was won by Randy Savage. Uh, what are the things that they his call? The Rockers had to return the tag belts to the Hart Foundation. Remember that? That pissed me off. Uh, a few other things that look kind of controversial and stuff like that, but and basically gave everybody a bag out of the boo, but he wasn't like I said on every program being a heel GM or president or anything like that. But once he stepped down, Gorilla Monsoon became the on-air WWF president for a while. Then later on, they did the whole what they call it GM thing, especially going to the uh, later parts of the Attitude Era into the Ruthless Aggression Era. Uh, let's see. Let's see. Yes, it was his call to ban Rugged Ronnie Garvin from refereeing. That was a uh, trivia question this past Tuesday. What's one of the jobs Garvin did? He was a referee. Um, like I said, a few things here. Um, anyways, uh, yeah, involved a little bit of controversy, I guess. Um, anyways, stuff always read up about him, but at the time he did step down. He would wind up passing away in 2004 from a heart attack in his sleep after a sudden illness. Um, and that's about it. Uh, of course, he is the nephew of Frank Tunney. Uh, he's the one who was one of the original owners of the Maple Leaf Wrestling Territory, or company, we're going to call it. Until he passed away, that's when Jack took over, and then Jack kind of sold it to, was supposed to kind of working together with WWF, but of course, they wound up absorbing Maple Leaf Wrestling. Then once their shows went drawing in Ontario, Canada, they kind of just pulled out, like this, or Toronto, and they pulled out till what was it, WrestleMania 6, I think. Uh, I think there was a lawsuit with his cousin. I believe his cousin's name Eddie or something like that. Uh, let's see here. Oops. Yes, Eddie. Eddie was a cousin. He was a Jack Tunney was kind of the man of the people president of the Maple Leaf promotion. Eddie Tunney kind of took a backseat, whatever, like a silent partner type. So yeah, that concludes today's uh, today in wrestling history and a bunch of stuff. Try to remember, can't really remember too well. Um, don't do that no more. Okay. So, like I said, nobody, just move right along here. And this is a episode of AWA Championship Wrestling from October 12th, 1986. There's a link to it. I'll at least put that in the chat. uh, when I share the replay, make sure the volume's down so I don't get no copyright hits. Oh my goodness. Last week went too bad. Last week I kept the volume down and everything else. I think I can get by with the Ric Flair's old music. I think I usually get by with that, but anything else, no. Anything you might hear on the radio, no, I don't get by with that. So anyway, going to count down here, and I'm going to push play. And so if you're watching the replay, uh, when I say push and play or push or zero push play, whatever, that's why I'm pushing play and kind of watch along and hear what I'm you know, hopefully what I'm saying and what you're seeing kind of matches up pretty well. So anyway, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and play. So yes, that little I thought that little intro was pretty cool with a falling down ring into the auditorium. Uh, I didn't mind that logo either. And of course, this was recorded at the from probably ESPN Classic. Oh, Tom Rocky Stone. Remember him pretty well. But make sure it's not you don't hear anything. Just hear me, or you hear what you push play. Um, but yes, look at that big young fellow there. Wonder what happened to him. Yes, this is way before the Diamond Stud and Razor Ramon and Outsider. This no young Scott Hall here. Got the cowboy boots on and everything. This, can't remember. I think here he was just called Big Scott Hall. I think in Florida they trying to use the. I think a little after this he did go to Florida, and they tried to do the Madam Scott Hall thing because he had a mustache and all that kind of like Madam TA, and like Tom Selleck. But damn, Scott Hall's fucking jacked here. He said, "Not today, Tom Rocky Stone. I ain't putting up with no BS today." And yes, this was yeah, ripped from the I guess it was ESPN. Well, it might have been original ESPN telecast. If they show the scores at the bottom, well, I mean they showed it on top. It was from December or December October 12th, 1986. So they definitely wouldn't do that if it was a fresh from ESPN. But when ESPN Classic came in, which I found out last week, hey, that might be a trivia question this week. What video library does the WWE share with ESPN? I think there's two of them. I think it's AWA and Global because they played Global for a while. Hey there, Rick. Hey Footlocker. He pulled his underwear down. Gonna make Big Scott Hall mad. But like I said, let's say it's Green Rookie here. He's probably been wrestling probably about 2 years at this point, but still hasn't really found you know his right niche yet. I mean, they kind of, I guess, because he looked a lot like Terry Allen, or it could have passed for Terry Allen's brother. They kind of gave him almost the same get up, except for again they call him Big Scott Hall, Florida, try the Magnum Scott Hall thing, but gave him the cowboy boots. It's like I only think he was built from Texas. Yeah, I think on the bottom there it said from Tampa, Florida. So yeah, he the ringing out. Oh man, come on! Pulling the bra strap down, they choke him. Get in there, ref. Who does he think he is, Jerry Lawler? Whoever put this match together, they kind of give Tom Rocky Stone a lot here. Let's face Scott Hall at the Showboat Sports Pavilion in Las Vegas, Nevada. Okay, I think Big Scott Hall is like, okay, I've had just about enough of your shit. Oh, here he goes. Yep. More likely the wrestler, especially around this time, if the wrestler wears those cowboy boots, more likely his finishing maneuver is going to be a bulldog. Maybe not, say, Bill Watts. Bill Watts used a power slam, Oklahoma Stampede. Dusty used the bionic elbow, but Barry Windham for a little bit used the bulldog. Of course, Kendall did. Uh, the Black Shats used the claw. Blackjack Alonzo was already retired. Mulligan was still wrestling. He either used to like a flying elbow, or not flying from top rope elbow, but flying elbow or the claw at the time. But yeah, Big Scott Hall, winner with a bulldog headlock. I used to like that finishing maneuver as a kid. That one and the DDT. Now both those moves are just moves. High spot. Oh, Scott Hall was voted most popular wrestler in April 1986. Now we get to hear Big Scott Hall speak. 298. Yeah, the dude's freaking jacked here. I mean, like I said, I want to say he's like he seems comfortable, but not really. Like I said, this hadn't found his own niche that he is fully capable or fully comfortable with. Uh, like I said, to have his own niche. So, uh, and of course, this was AWA, and I think he did some time in Memphis and of course Florida, Puerto Rico. Then he actually went to WCW as Scott Gator Hall, a guy who would go out and wrestle alligators. But for some reason, a guy that size and everything, that ability, they still use him as a kind of use him as a uh, uh, job guy. Excuse me. But did not, when I was watching WCW at that time, I was like, why is this guy? I mean, I didn't know the term jobber or preliminary guy. I just knew the guy who lost, or like my dad used to say, hey, one of the whipping boys, because he always gets whipped. But yeah, didn't understand why he was a whipping one of the whipping boys. Uh, but again, this was WCW, what, 92 ish, 93. All right, we can't get no call offs, but we got two other guys we can Mike Richards and his partner Frankie DeFalco. I recognize that name. Okay, probably from this. And of course, they couldn't get no real Koloffs or Volkov, so they got these two guys to shave their heads and be Russians. Gordienko, Gorchenko, whatever his name. No, Gorchenko, whatever his name was. Alexis Smirnov. Yeah, I remember him, but and of course, like I said, every territory just about had to. Oops, I meant to. We don't want to look at that. There we go. Because we're watching AWA, the major leagues of professional wrestling. I heard him already say it. At least they said in the intro. So yes, couldn't get a Koloff, couldn't get a Volkov, so they got Smirnoff and I think later this is a little before Zukov, Boris Zukov, who was I think Private Jim Gordon or something like that, and Crockett followed the Cobra Corps with, or where part of the Corps with Sergeant a heel Sergeant Slaughter, team with Don Knoll, who I mentioned before. Actually, Don Knoll team with Sergeant Slaughter and become NWA World Tag Team Champions. Once they hold them multiple times or just once? Can't remember right now. I know. Let's see. Knoll held the belts with held it with Sergeant Slaughter and then Ivan Koloff. Obviously, these guys missed those government forced or communistic government forced weightlifting and gym like Nikita Koloff, uh, Vladimir Petrov. Uh, let's see, what was his name? Uh, uh, Ivan Drago. Yeah, yeah. These guys that had that same train as, like I said, Nikita Koloff, Vladimir Petrov, maybe Borsukov a little bit, and Ivan Drago. Google it, kids. I really don't have to. I actually watched what was it? Rocky Balboa, the one where he was fully retired. Adrian had passed away. He was working in a restaurant that had a computerized simulation of Mason Dixon character, the world boxing champion, and what would be like the if he had faced Rocky Balboa. Basically, Rocky Balboa comes out of retirement, faces Mason Dixon. Now, it was a decent Rocky movie. It was okay. I kind of dug it. Not great, not as great. I say one and two is you good enough for that. Wait, some because I kind of stole it from somebody. Obviously, I'm not interested in this match right here. I don't know why. Not because of the C team Russian. No, I I got distracted by talking about Ivan Drago and Rocky movies. There you go. Lay him in there. Oh, all fired up there. Oh, you got kicked in the face, you big dummy or big little dummy. Anyway, even though I did steal a sign, I always say there's only three Indiana Jones movies. There's Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and The Last Crusade. You don't want to know why they called The Last Crusade? Because it was the last real Indiana Jones movie. The other two, horrible. Anyway, so I mentioned that one time, and somebody popped up and said, "Well, what's your thing with Rocky?" It's like, well, depends on what story you're looking for. If you want just a Rocky story, 1 and 2, you're good. If you want the Rocky Apollo Creed story, either rivalry turn to friendship and to other things, you watch Rocky 1, 2, 3, and 4. Um, what the? There you go. We're gonna get some wrestling here now. Clubbing forum. I think the guy laughed at that. I was like, "Hey, I stuck my foot out there. You freaking gave him a snapmare. I gotta bring my big foot down. Jackass." Yeah, I'll work on that one. So maybe they might get arm submission here. Oh, that might be what we get here. There we go. Stomp on that arm. Stomp on the shoulder. Hammer lock. Yeah, we're about to get submission here. Call it, ref. He can't continue. He's done. He's tapped. Okay, I dig that. I think the assassins. Well, I don't know if the original Assassin's Mind did it, but I think it was the Hercules Hernandez and Jody Hamilton assassins of Crockett 84ish, 5ish. Uh, they kind of did that. They wrestled their punch to the ground, and one of them with hammerlock, tag in, stomps, stomp, hammerlock, tag. Kind of like these guys did here. It's almost like a maybe Ole Anderson. Probably one of that short time where Ole Anderson was booking Carolina as well. Not, maybe not. But no, let's see. Yeah, probably not 84 or 5. I wasn't booked, Terry. Tony Leone and Dennis Town. Oh, come on, Dennis. That's my last one, Dennis. Terry, they didn't book me. Well, I'm booking you now. Ref men Brett's match. So, yeah, that Beyond the Mat, pretty good wrestling documentary. Um, he was on there. Uh, uh, I did like the ring entrance music in AWA. Living After Midnight by Judas Priest. I'm not playing it YouTube. Don't hear it, but I know that's what music they're using. And look there, young, short-haired Shawn Michaels, a young Maki Jannetty. Before he wanted bigger and better drugs. There were partiers even at this time. They were starting to get that reputation as partiers around here. But come on, who can blame them? Two young, two young guys in shape on TV, being TV stars. Chicks dig them. See, that's what's missing in society now. Like rock stars and pro wrestlers. Like, I mean, even though, even though I don't have proof, but I'm sure some young wrestlers, rock stars, are still out having their fun. You just can't admit to be having that fun, or you'll be, you know, uh, toxic, masculine, uh, non-feminist, whatever, womanizing. Like, come on, if it wasn't for womanizing, none of us would ever be born. They never thought about that, did y'all? So if you're watching this, thanks thanks to womanizing, all of us were born. But now, rock stars, entertainers, and stuff like that, they can't admit being having fun, having the fun single life. They act like neutered monks. Oh no, I don't like girls. I just sing for the people, get on my bus, and go to the next town. Oh, they're probably telling him to break it. And yes, at the time, bandanas and stuff like that, it's all the rage. But yeah, basically, Midnight Rockers were uh, the AWA version of the Rock and Roll Express. And actually, Mario Jannetty was in another Rock and Roll Express, you know, influence tag team in Central States with uh, Tommy. Well, at Tommy was going by Tommy Rogers, but he uh, he then later went by Tommy Lane, one half of the Rock and Roll RPMs. But him and Mario went by the name Uptown Boys, and then he got a chance to work for the AWA. Uh, I guess who was booking at the time, Fern or Greg or whoever was like, and see that's one thing. A lot of I mean, yeah, they were athletic and stuff like that, but not a lot of teams were doing the flips and the kip ups and stuff like that. That's the reason they were one of my favorites to watch. But anyway, where was I going with that? But yeah, anyway, Mari was wrestling kind of singles and like, we want to put you in a tag team. Uh, do you know anybody? And he had met Shawn Michaels in Central States. He even said in the interview he was really good friends with a guy by the name DJ Peterson, who would later uh, have a little run in the AWA. But he was in one tag team match before that with Shawn, and they seemed to click real well. So first person that popped in his head was Shawn Michaels, and it it worked. They were here. Had a was employed by the WWF for at least 2 days before getting fired. But, and at this time, they had a pretty good feud with Playboy Buddy Rose and Doug Summers over the AWA World Tag Team titles. But one of my favorites is, like I said, they didn't do like didn't do a lot of it. They didn't do like everything they can do in every match or anything like that. Uh, but they would do a flip here and there or a kip up and stuff like that. Innovative, double team moves, kind of like the Midnight Express and Rock Roll Express would do. Um, and all of it looked pretty cool at the time. So that Rockerplex, at the, like I said, at the time, looked very cool. But so I was actually, what was it? Yeah, it was a SmackDown taping, I think, where Marty and Sean teamed up for the last time against uh, the the Canadian or the French Canadians, whatever, or the French wrestler. I forget. La Resistance. That's what they call themselves. I finally figured it out. So when that music hit, I popped. I was like, oh, this is freaking cool. This was cool. The double super kick. As we've seen, I've seen at this time this Chris Adams do the super kick, but here's two guys doing a double super kick, and this is before everybody was doing a super kick and five super kicks in a match and all that good stuff. It was just them two doing a double super kick and Chris Adams doing a super kick. I believe Chris Adams taught Paul Diamond and Shawn Michaels had to do a super kick. Or Shawn Michaels and Paul Diamond was a tag team called the American Force and Texas All Star Wrestling. Now we have a little promo time with the Midnight Rocker. And supposedly, I think it was Shawn Michaels' interview when they were talking to Vern Gagne about a team name. They said, "Hey, we're going to call ourselves the Midnight Rockers." Supposedly, Vern Gagne asked, "It's like, so, you mean like Midnight Rockers, like a rocking chair? I mean, I don't get it." But let's just say Vern was a little behind the times. But like I said, people can't, I don't think it's not the cool thing no more to say, "Hey, I'm young. I like to go out, party, have a good time, and hook up with women." That's like a no-no now. I don't know. Maybe you still, I mean, you go out and have a good time. Who knows? That's what's killing the entertainment industry altogether. It's social media. I forgot who said it best. Thanks to social media, now and all these entertainers on social media like Twitter and all that, especially Twitter or X. It's like, yeah, I'll get to find out who all the assholes really are. So I really have no idea what's. I'm sitting here and I want to sit here and try to sell you some matches here, and I will tell you that AWA is the greatest promotion in the world. You should see these matches. Let me tell you. And there, speaking of Larry Zbyszko, there he is. This is when he was doing Mr. Karate Guy kind of gimmick here. And he brings nunchucks out and swing those around. He have a Super Ninja and Ninja Go, and yeah, I believe that's Super Ninja right there. Like I said, I don't want to get copyright here, so I'm not going to turn it up so they can hear me. So I have no clue who that guy is. I should like try to do some bad lip syncing here. Look at here, you skinny rut. I am the greatest wrestler and karate guy in the world today at this time. If you want to try me, we can go out there in the parking lot and we can throw some legs, throw some fists, throw down a couple of drinks. Oh, what you say, old guy? I kick your ass, old guy. Well, I'm just a little skinny guy here. I'm not here to cause any trouble. I'm just here to see a nice little wrestling show. Spudhead. Don't you ever, ever call me Spudhead. I am banging the boss's daughter. Yes, I am going to go back there and bang the boss's daughter. And I will wind up marrying her. Yes, I was Triple H, Paul Levesque before Paul Levesque was even thought of. I'm the original uh, banger of boss's or promoter's daughter. I was doing it way before Triple H. And see, Bobby Eaton, he might have been banging Bill Dundee's daughter, but Bill Dundee was sometimes a booker and just a wrestler most of the time. He wasn't a owner of the company like Verne Gagne was. Wait, wait, and let me tell you, Kathy Gagne, she'll tell you a thing or two about hot chewies. I'm gonna go back there right now and have her hot chewy on me right now, and it's gonna feel good. And when I get done with her, I'm gonna kick your ass. Don't shut me up, Mr. Microphone Guy. One thing Larry Zbyszko like to do is freaking get on that mic and talk and get on people's nerves. Now, is that Super Ninja or Ninja Go? Now, one of these Super Ninjas, he had a pretty cool little finisher. He'll do a butterfly suplex, go over, and then do a bridge. You gotta pretend like his shoulders are down, but he'll get the 1, 2, 3 out of that. And look there, as a young Kurt Hennig before he was cool Kurt Hennig. He was just plain old Kurt Hennig. Before he was perfect. Again, another good young talent here. I mean, and Kurt Hennig was pretty good even at this point. Oh, he got the nunchuck this week. You know, that lady says Larry sucks. Yep. Kurt Hennig is a young white meat babyface. And of course, There's Bisco. He got his big break in WWF as well, or WWF, as the protege of Bruno Sammartino until oh, anyway. Um, oh, okay, so he was Ninja Go, Mr. Go. Anyway, um, then he would actually turn against Bruno Sammartino, and you know, of course later Bisco being a heel, turn heel on Bruno and drew some big bucks for that angle and that feud. Then later he went to Georgia and then he went to Florida. I think he just went around territories. I think there was like a tournament for the National Heavyweight Championship that's won by Killer Tim Brooks, and there's the Bisco storyline wise anyway. Paid him $25,000 for the championship, and they let it go. Years later, they tried to do that with the Hulk Hogan Andre Giant match with Ted DiBiase buying it off of Andre, but again, person we mentioned before here, or this evening, Jack Tunney did not let that go. Said, nope, we ain't doing that. We're going to hold it up, and we're going to have a tournament at WrestleMania 4, and Randy Savage is going to win. Oh, by the way, yes, Hulk and Andre wrestled each other at that WrestleMania tournament match, but it ended up at a double DQ. There's just saying, come on, kid. You want to fight? Let's fight. I know karate. Motherfucker. Of course, Kurt Hennig would actually become an AWA World Champion himself, defeating Nick Bockwinkel in controversial fashion. Yeah, there. I did a fire mystery on your young self. How you like that shit, kid? Now, I've watched like clips here and there of some of Larry Zbyszko's interviews. He's a pretty entertaining guy. I'm not here, Red. He pushed me out of the ring. I think he was going to do one of those punch moves. Just kidding. I don't think Kurt Hennig ever did a punch move. I know at this time, I've seen him a couple times use uh, the perfect plex, the fisherman suplex, into the bridge, which again I found looked pretty freaking cool. Uh, a lot of times he'll finish people off with a drop kick from either the middle rope or top rope. You ain't no ninja. I'm a ninja. I'm a ninja from the Las Vegas trailer park. Actually, I live here. I lost all my money gambling on gambling in the casino. I lost all my money in the slot machine. They let me live here. I think even before this time, let's see, Kurt Hennig went to Portland for a little bit, and then he'd also have a cup of coffee in the WWF in the earlier 80s, like 81, 82, 83 maybe. Him and Eddie Gilbert. I think him and Eddie Gilbert tagged a couple times. Makes you want to, if anybody's listening to replay of this and watch this, what do you think if Kurt Hennig was still alive today? What do you think he'd be? You think he'd be one of the coaches at the Performance Center, have his own wrestling school? Um, Something to that effect. Any stories I hear about Kurt Hennig? None of them shouts out, possible booker or creative guy. I mean, he probably been an agent or something like that. What do you folks think? If you're out there in the chat or if you watch this on the replay, let me know in the comments. If Kurt Hennig was alive today, what do you think he'd be doing? Would he be working the Performance Center or maybe just halfway retired? Kicking back, fishing, hunting? Apparently he liked to fish for a while. Actually, I gotta hide myself a little bit here. Oh, actually, folks, I'll be right back. Enjoy this match. And I'm back, boys and girls. But one thing you definitely tell back in the day, it was nothing for, even on a TV match with a star versus star. They have a, 15, 20-minute match. But they would pace themselves. I mean, they wouldn't, treat themselves like a video game where spot, 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 spot. Okay, now we gotta play dead. Spot, 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 play dead. Spot, 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 play dead. Here he goes, punch. Oh, nope. Oh, he's gonna go for a plunger there. So star versus star here. Let me guess, we're gonna get a double count out here, won't we? That's what it's starting to look like here. Did Kurt make it in on time? Nope. It is over. You were both counted out. This match is officially a draw or a double count out. Alright, Kurt, you almost won one there by a count out. Yeah. Now I know what they call him Spudhead there. He actually hit me with a couple taters there. See, I got a little mark on my head with the little Spudhead tater me. Let me tell you, Spudhead, next time you get in the ring here with me, I'm gonna give you a couple receipts. Yep. I'm gonna make that big melon head even freaking bigger. That's because I'm gonna be betraying you the whole freaking match. No, yeah, I got a fresh bag of locks, so watch yourself. You're gonna have locked bags, locked shoelaces, locked car, locked shopping cart, locked chair, locked jaw. In fact, I think I'm go to the back right now. I'm gonna get one of those locks, and I'm gonna find where you and Vern's daughter are, hooking up at, and I'm gonna lock y'all together, and I'm gonna tell Vern Garling where you're at. That sounds like a funny idea, Kurt. Congratulations on that. That will be so funny, Kurt. Produced by Vern Gallion's AWA Wrestling in association with ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. And yep, that concludes AWA Championship Wrestling, and or that was telecast on uh, October 12th of 1986. So, personally, not a bad episode there. We got to see Scott Hall. We got to see, or a young Scott Hall. We got to see a young Midnight Rockers, Shawn Michaels, Mario Jannetty. Got to see a young Kurt Hennig. Got to see, I think how old Larry Zbyszko. Definitely a seasoned veteran at this time. That's what we could say about Larry Zbyszko, Spudhead. But of course, I do have an episode of Classic Reminiscing, or Classic Wrestling Reminiscing, where I pretty much did a recap of uh, Tales from the Territory. Did one for the AWA. So if you want to go back and check that out, or I am trying to find it here. Yeah, that one's kind of old too. There it is. I have to look for to find it. I'm going to copy a link to that. And that was actually my first video I ever did that uh, got over 1,000 views. So I'm gonna sit here and share this again with y'all. People apparently liked it. Got a lot of feedback on that one. Um, like I said, probably nowhere. I'm like this is good anyway. This is a whole lot better than WoW was, but um, check it out. Give me a grade. Have I if you watch this one, then you watch this live stream here. Let me know if you think I actually improved here. Anyway, there, yeah, there it is right there in the chat. So if you want to check that out, but one of the things I did mention that Wrestling Reminiscing about the AWA is that at the time I thought they had the coolest figures. Okay, gotta remember this is 85, 86. Uh, uh, Wrestling figures were not uh, any kind of action figure was probably not as great as they are now. Uh, but for some reason, I guess I don't know. But the wrestling figures they have now, they're very awesome. But at the time, I thought these figures were better. Of course, you know these are two I had. I had a Rick Martel. I actually had this package, Rick Martel and Baron von Raschke. Had this one. I got this one on my birthday one year. Um, got a Family Dollar. I actually remember this day. We were about to move, so I had, me and my dad went somewhere to a place where we were going to move, get some, yard cleanup, stuff like that done. And on the way back, uh, it's like, crap, it's your birthday. So we went to Family Dollar. I got this one. It, of course, has Larry Zbyszko against Nick Bockwinkel. I also had another set there that has Stan Hansen and Cherry Blackwell. So I got four of those. Like I said, I like these figures. At least they're not as bent or they ain't got the joints and stuff like that like they do now. But at least you can move the arms, move the legs a little bit, move the head. The WWF figures at the time were like this: the big, rubber, bulky, non-movable, nothing. Um, which I did have a Junkyard Dog. I had a Junkyard Dog, Ricky Steamboat, Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov. I think I had Hulk Hogan too. Can't remember. But yeah, so uh, that this was you had a choice of the big bulky rubber ones or these. I actually had this one too. Another Larry Zbyszko and Ric Flair figure. So and of course I had the Road Warriors. I mean, can't beat that, you know. And I guess Vern or nobody in the AWA was hands on with these entirely because all their belts look like the NWA World Title belt, the 10 pounds of gold, not the big gold belt. Uh, so that was kind of funny. But yeah, none of the belts look like actual AWA belts or the AW belts they had at the time. Which they had nice belts. The AWA World belt at the time, it looked pretty good. The World Tag belts looked pretty good. Um, but they didn't look uh, like I said, they look like the 10 pounds of gold or what they call now Sweet Charlotte, the NWA World Title. Um, before the big gold belt. But yeah, I thought, like I said, these figures are good. Again, not as good as the figures they have now. You move the elbows move, and you put somebody in an actual arm bar. But at least the arms went up and down, legs went side to side, up and down, whatever. But so these are cool. The WWF ones, not so great. But it had the a lot of the AWA figures and the WWF ring or the toy ring or whatever. So you had wrestlers way tall or a little short, but you're a kid. You're just playing. Who cares? But definitely brings back some good memories, especially look at these figures, watching these old wrestling stuff. Um, definitely like talking about it and chatting about it as much as I can. Um, like talking about today's wrestling. Some of today's wrestling, it's not all bad. Uh, not even AEW. AEW's not all that bad. They have some good stuff, but But it's like music fans. If you're a music fan, if you're my age, you probably like your 70s Led Zeppelin, 80s Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, Metallica. Anything came out after 1999, you're probably like, well, what's this for shit? Uh, unless you really, you know, unless you still listen to music a lot. I don't, because it just got to a point where I think I mentioned before we had 96 Rock and it turned to Project 961, and it would play like current rock stuff. It was turned to I think they call it the butt rock era. I think they call it dad rock now. The Nickelback stuff, Evanescence, Corn, uh, Shinedown, all of them. Uh, Anybody that's came out last 5 years, Blackstone Cherry. I think it's the only one I can think of. Um, yeah, off the top of my head, that's the only one I can think of. But yeah, Marilyn Manson, Seven Dust. Like I said, the first new band I really got attached to, and I still listen to their stuff today, is Seven Dust. Okay, I'll admit, I'll uh, Steel Panther. Just because I like the act, I think they're funny. I don't take it seriously, so definitely. But anyway, so like I said, so when I talk about wrestling, it's like, yeah, maybe wrestling back then was better than today, but since I do am still more of a wrestling fan, it's because I I still appreciate and expand my mind to like not force myself to like it, but you know uh, dig the stuff they're doing. Sometimes I wish they wouldn't do some of the stuff they do because, quite quite frankly, I don't want to see another Hayabusa or just somebody dying in a ring or something like that. Like I said, that one pay per view where Darby Allin's hanging upside down, that kind of I was like, I won't say it hit me. I'm like, was legitimately like kind of worried about the kid. I was like, bring him back down. Okay, they did a double super kick. Now you can lower him down because nobody should be hanging upside down for that long. But anyway, like I said, I'm just going on tangent here. Here, so like I said, if you watch this on replay, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you thought, or just say hello. What do you think about the old AWA figures? What do you think about this episode, the AWA Championship Wrestling? Uh, did you wish Shane Helms and Brock Lesnar? I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably didn't, wish Brock Lesnar a happy birthday, but I'm pretty sure things that might change later on. But anyway, let me do my plug-in show. Like I said, I will be back out of town come Monday, next or all of next week, and probably next week's uh, Wrestling Gold Friday night will start at 10 o'clock again next Friday. Just because like today I didn't get home until I didn't get home 8:30. So 8:30 I was able to shower, shave, uh, eat a little dinner, did do my show prep, and was halfway ready to go. I mean, it wasn't too bad. I mean, a lot of stuff I prepped last night, of course, but anyway, let's do some plug-ins here. Every Tuesday, I do a wrestling show called, or a wrestling trivia show called Wrestling Trivia Tuesday. This is where I ask 5 questions all dealing with the sport of professional wrestling from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. One question from each decade is what I usually try to do. Uh, but check that out. Usually I have that up by Tuesday at 10 a.m. and it's available to watch. You can go back and watch episode 1 of Wrestling Trivia Tuesday if you want to. have you look up a little tournament. Have all your friends gather around and with their phones and see how well y'all do. Let me know how y'all do in the comments. Let's see. So also I do a WWE Raw recap show. Usually I try to have that up by Tuesday evenings. Of course, this past week it was on usually Tuesday, Wednesday, but definitely try to get that Tuesday evenings. That's WWE Raw recap show. On Thursdays, I usually do uh, a few and far between. Sometimes not too few and far between, but I also do a AEW Dynamite recap show, and it is usually up on Thursday evenings. So you can check that out too. Those are recordings, of course. Speaking of Thursday, my first live stream show, I do a live stream on Thursday nights called Spot Show Live Stream with me, Ronald Ray. That's every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Friday morning in Japan, and 5 a.m. Friday morning in India. Usually this is talking about the current news, uh, little news about WWE, independents, other companies, AEW, whatever, I feel like is some usually news kind of interests me or whatever, and I think, might interest other people, but I do need to kind of, if I'm going to do this, I've been saying this for a while now. I need to watch some TNA and stuff like that, go back watching that, and NXT, and watch SmackDown. Because I did a few SmackDown recap shows as well. But yeah, anyway, Spot Show live stream. Again, talk more about current wrestling stuff. If you're not digging the current product, hey, be back with me next Friday for Wrestling Gold Friday night. Back when wrestling was wrestling, and it's still real to us, damn it. And it was real wrestling back in the day. Yes, that's Wrestling Gold Friday night, where I do like I did tonight, today in wrestling history. Also do a watch along of a classic wrestling show. Tonight we did AWA. You know what? I did mention Texas All Star. Let me see if I can find a Texas All Star show. I think I remember a couple. Didn't watch much of Texas All Star because Superstar. I guess Superstars Wrestling had world class, and they need to have another Texas product. Anyway, that's of course I need to change those times. Next Friday, of course, it's going to be at 10 at night again, 10 p.m. Next Friday, and during the course while I'm still working down in Lake Park, Georgia. So check it out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter. I usually announce what I'm playing and as far as the watch along and the time I'll be up live. So uh, that is Sports Wrestling Gold Friday night. And that does it on this week's Wrestling Gold Friday night. Appreciate all those who will be watching later. Until next time, you folks have a good one. Take it easy. Hey there, thank you for checking this out. If you enjoyed it, share with a like and hit that subscribe button. You can also check me out on social media, Facebook at Ronald Ray, on X or Twitter is RPATRPTV46. Until next time.
So long from the peach state of Georgia.